Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hi, everybody, and don't forget Pandora. Hi, everybody. I'm David Silvani, your stand-in host for tonight for Take Two Radio. Pam is on personal leave. Will is on personal leave. Anthony got ill, and it's Candace and me, and we're going to welcome Nathan to help us out tonight. Thank you, Candace.
You're welcome. Yeah, I have my own personal issue that I just found out about because I literally just came home.
Oh, God. Lord. I hope everything's okay.
So if y'all hear me, like, really going back and forth and being a HGTV TV show right about in a few minutes, don't mind me.
This is Fix It.
Yeah, pretty much. This is what happens when you grow up. This is what happens when your grandfather teaches, like, realizes you're the only grandchild that's going to actually carry on this part of the legacy of how to fix certain things without depending on, like, repairs and stuff like that. Because that was his saying. His saying was, why pay somebody when you can do the work? There are certain things I can't repair, but in this situation, I think I can repair it.
Oh, thank God it was just a minor thing. I'm not good at anything. I mean, it's all overwhelming to me.
You know what you just need is some music. It's music, YouTube to tell you how to fix things. Yep. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna start my own channel about doing that.
Yep. Let me see. Pam asked me. So where do you want? Shall we get on? Y&R's case?
I mean, it's again, if you guys heard me last night, you guys know how I feel about it, but I'll read for our listeners who don't know all of what's going on here.
For our listeners who don't know.
Yeah, so last Wednesday, which happens to be my birthday, Young and the Restless decided to give me the best birthday present of them all, I guess, by announcing with that Sony, let me preface this, that Sony CBS let go of the breakdown writers of Young and the Restless.
Right.
Now, we know as soap fans that writers get let go all the time. It's cutthroat. It's a cutthroat business. We all know this. But what kind of was the knife through the heart was all the breakdown writers that were let go was all women.
Yeah.
And let me just preface this, too, that you had Susan Banks, who is a woman of color, who has worked in the industry for over, almost, she literally worked her way up, and everything like that. So that was Susan Banks, not to be confused with the Days of Our Lives character. You had a writer who was selected by Kate Otler by Sarah Bibble, who actually confirmed once the article from the Rep was released, Sarah did take to social media to address this, to address it because people thought, hey, it was a rumor, but she did confirm it. Also, you have Natalia Slater, who has been on, literally, she's dedicated her life because she started when she was 27 on up.
Right.
So she's been there since the 90s, and there was other writers as well. Now, to kind of give you a heads up of what, like a breakdown writer do, like where everybody is coming from, the breakdown writers take the storyline that the head writer comes up with, okay, and they basically it's basically a weekly summary. The breakdown writers put structures to the storyline to, like summarize each episode. So it's not a big thing. Now, as far as we know, there's been no replacements. A lot of people are speculating that this is due to the impending, let me preface that again, impending, even though there's nothing really much going on, there's no movement about this, of the upcoming Writers Guild union strike, which is going to happen around in June, allegedly. Some people were speculating that this is a way to save money. However, there's some questions. One, why would you let go of the breakdown writing team when there may not be a strike? They won't know until midnight of June.
They won't know. I mean, it's too early.
Right. So that's one. Two, there's been talks, and if you've been really following this, you know that Sony was doing budget cuts starting almost 2 years ago. There was a lot of cuts that not a lot of people knew. The only two that was very public was Jordy, a.k.a. Ray on Young and the Restless. He was let go due to budget. And now this.
Now that.
Right. It is alleged
Are we
that,
saying that it's all? Are we saying that it's all due to budget, and we're not looking at ethnicity? Because
I don't want to believe
that's what
that.
It looks like.
I mean, it does look like that. It really does. And this is why, again, I'm going to say this too: that if there is no strike, and if there's no reasons of the firing that stands ground, like obviously they're trying to save money, so, it's a financial thing. But if there's no strike, there may be a lawsuit. Because if you're going to let go of writers due to a pending strike, again, it is February. The strike won't probably happen until mid-June. And even with that doesn't, nobody says, okay, June 3rd is the strike. It literally happens June 3rd, midnight. You get a phone call, we're on strike.
Oh, God.
So, Now, on the flip side of things, you have Josh Griffin, who is one of two soap writers that if the WGA goes on strike will not be affected because he chose not to be a part of the quote-unquote union that strikes out. He's the sort of, I forgot the term for it, but him and Ron Carlivati are the two soap writers that would not be affected by the strike, meaning during the strike, they can still write the shows.
Maybe because he's not, they're not officially union, but
I forgot what the term was, but this also, if you guys remember, if you guys remember a couple of years ago during the daytime Emmys, Amanda Bill, who is now I want to say co-head writer, at this time, that's what we know. She accepted the award. Josh wasn't, and they talked about that, about his placement with the union and whatnot. to kind of give you guys a little bit more of like what, like I'm trying to, because I know a lot of people is like, okay, so why are they plotting for something that may or may not happen? Because this has actually been in talks for almost a year now. The WGA union members feel a certain type of way about the treatment, especially daytime, the daytime portion of the Writers Guild Awards. It is about money.
Right.
They do feel as though they do need an increase. They also feel as though the workload has to be adjusted. A lot of these writers do not come together in a boardroom meeting. Some of them do send their stuff via email. Everybody's remote, as we all know. But also there's a lot of other things that goes into being a member. So, again, we'll see what happens in the summertime. But for right now, with Young and the Russells kind of picking it back here, this is not good in the sense that the week prior, the Young and the Russells announced that they were going to have some returns, some much surprise returns. You got Aunt May coming back. You got Gina Romolati. You got Danny Romolati. You got my girl Leanna Love, and you got Nina.
Right.
And they're going to be announcing some others, because they're getting ready for this big, moment, 50 years of Young and the Rustlers. However, with this news, it kind of overshadowed it. Also, keep in mind, Josh Griffin is the sole executive producer. He's the head writer. Allegedly, through somebody that hasn't been really confirmed, he feels as though he can do this by himself. I like Tyler Perry, but that's another comparison. Huh?
Oh, Tyler Perry too?
Yeah, Tyler Perry does. Tyler Perry does not have writers. Like, he does the majority of this on his own.
Oh, more power to him.
Right. Well, there's some backlash with that too, because again, it's one thing to take on the role of a head writer, okay, and an executive producer. I don't know somebody who does that, but, I'm just saying. But to do the extra stuff, pretty much you are doing the whole writing tenure. Now, there's still writers on the show, that is true, but you need a breakdown writers team to help structure and to summarize the storylines and not do it all, because I think this is probably what's going to happen. This is just my opinion. A lot is riding on Josh Griffin right now. He's doing another soap that's turning 50. For those who remember Days of Our Lives, 50th anniversary, you were there. You remember all of it. Trust me, we was there for that. The fact that there's been some storylines that has picked up some speed and some that is still lacking. The fact that there's a lot riding this year on this show in the sense of performance. I'm just going to be blunt. I'm just going to be honest. I do think this is going to burn Josh Griffin out.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again,
I don't know of anyone who can take on all that.
Some people can, but you do need a team. That's why they have the writers team and the breakdown team. Not everybody can do it all by themselves, especially if you're the sole executive producer. That means you're in charge of making sure the show looks good. You have to be very hands-on. Also, you have to come up with the storylines as well as the head writer, co-head writer. And then while you have that idea, you now have to structure that storyline to transfer into paper, to transfer into scripts, to give to your cast. That's a lot. That's why you need some help. I will say this to the Breakdown Writers team. My heart goes out to you guys. I do hope you guys find something ASAP. I saw Sarah's post. It broke my heart. Because these are some talented writers who've been in the industry for a while. And I think sometimes we don't give the breakdown writers cred. And because I saw this, and I said this last night on Soul Party, I saw somebody make a comment on social media saying, well, none of the other shows have breakdown writers. That's not true. They do. Bold has them, Days has it, and General Hospital does. But as of last week, Young and Restless does not. You will not know the difference until mid-April, early May, because they do 6 to 8 weeks. Last week they just recorded the 50th anniversary. And so you won't be seeing a lot of these changes until later. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also have another gripe.
Yeah.
Okay, so last night was the Screen Actors Guild Awards. And
right.
first of all, shout out to everybody who won, Jamie Lee Curtis, Albert Elementary and stuff. In the memoriam, they did show, I believe, 4 daytime actors who also did prime time in there. They didn't show everybody, but, you know, this is one of those times where you're like, okay, they at least acknowledge daytime a little bit. I said this, I think a lot of people also agreed with this as well, that it kind of sucks that you have the Screen Actors Guild Awards, but it's not covering daytime. Daytime actors also pay the SAG fees, so why can't they be included in the SAG Awards?
Right.
Just asking for a friend. So, yes, Candace is still better, but, you know.
So let's see, who were the 4 that were named in the memorial? And then we can go on with Young. Anne Hayes, John Aniston, Catherine Hayes, and, oh, crap. Who's the 4th one? Wait a minute. I am blanking. I am so sorry. I forgot who it was. I know it was John Aniston because that was like you couldn't miss him. John Aniston, Catherine Hayes. Oh crap! This is like bugging me right now. He just recently passed too. Cody, the one who was on Days of Our Lives in Hollywood Heights. Yeah. Cody, the one.
Yes. Right.
And he was on Days playing JT?
I just remember that he was
Cody
on
Longwell.
Hollywood Heights. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So, you know, like I said, I was surprised to see them. I wish that like a Jerry Van Dorn or Ann Flood or Lisa Brown was among those. But again, it's, you know, you take what you can get. And even Marnie,
right.
you know, stuff like that. So, but yeah,
Marnie.
Again, yep. But on the positive, again, you know, congratulations to the winners of last night's awards. So there you go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into the thick of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the best and the worst of Y&R.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna be I literally like everybody's just been targeting me like, Candace, you gotta say something nice. So, what I'm enjoying with Young and Restless is the business structure of the show right now, because I think that's their identity. You know, you have the Newmans, Jabos, and all that stuff. Right. So to me, I'm interested in this whole Chancellor Winters situation. I like the fact that we, you know, it's been a very long time since we have like a sibling versus sibling. I mean, we have Jack and Ashley. That's always entertaining. Trust and believe. We always have, you know, Victoria, right. Nick, and Adam, but that's starting to kind of get played out a little bit. You have Jack and Billy, at times. You really, that whole structure. So to have Devon and Lily kind of go against each other is very interesting to me. I like the structure of the fact that Lily, for some reason, she's really like trying to make this idea work and siding with Jill, who, by the way, okay, let me just say this. Seeing Jess Walton in this situation is so weird to me, considering the fact that she should know how IPO works, considering what happened to Jabot and to Chancellor when Catherine was about to sell it to public and Neil, and I know a lot of people were saying, okay, Young and the Russells needs to stop talking about Neil. But the thing is, Devon is right. Yeah, well, there's some people who feel as though that they use, like that's a crutch. Like you didn't have him on, when he was still with us. But again, personal problems, you got to remember that. But I understand what they're trying to say. The fact is that Devon understood Neil's business side more than Lily, I think. You would think Lily would have got it, but, but it's interesting that, like Devon was saying to Lily, is that Neil wouldn't want all of this. Why are we pressing so hard? So now, because Devon talked to Abby about it, saying, Devon was like, I got to do what everybody else has done, like Victor and Jack and them. They're looking out for the future. That boy, Dominic, that's his name, right? Dominic, yeah.
Yep.
That's the legacy he's going to leave behind is, he wants a family company. And the fact that Abby is like, you know what, do what you got to do. And so Devon has to do what he has to do. So they're going to go to court. And this is where it gets interesting is Devon enlisted Christina. And Lily is like, you know what, okay, I'm going to enlist Amanda. And
Good
see,
for
Amanda,
her, yeah.
this is
I figure
be,
I figured she was going to call her.
Yeah. We know that Michelle Morgan is on recurring. So this is, for her to come back to this and be like, and keep in mind, this may take a personal turn because of what Devon did with Abby. So Amanda's probably going to stick it to him. I just thought about that too.
And that's going to be interesting to see.
Mhm. Especially because you also got Nate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Nate who's trying to figure out certain things. At the same time, I've been saying this lately, I've been loving Sean Dominic as Nate. He's a jerk, but I like him.
He's a lovable jerk?
I wouldn't call him low. I just like the arrogance that he he really does have some arrogance on him. Like he feels as though
he does, and it's subtle. It's not overwhelming.
Right. It's just like, okay, whatever is going on, again, you guys are my family, but at the same time, you're trying to take them down. And the fact that he really is warming up, or should I say under, depending on how you see it, with Victoria, that is like, for me, the extra icing on the cake, because I feel as though, okay, you have Nate over there. At the same time, he's like he's like I said, him and Victoria, while at the same time he has Elena. At the same time he has what's the girl's name? Andre. I keep saying her name wrong.
Audra?
The one,
Audra Charles?
Audra, thank you. Yeah, and that to me is a very interesting situation too, because I feel as though, okay, Nate is trying so hard that I feel as though he's going to either stumble on something or he's going to crash and burn. I'm kind of liking it.
Yeah, and he's feeling Victoria pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure how I like that pairing, but I guess it fits to what it's.
I mean, I'm fine with it because I feel as though, like, Victoria, again, I constantly feel as though I always have to say this. Victoria wants that one thing that she can't really control, and that is a relationship. Yes, her and Billy had perhaps one of the best relationships, but at the same time, that was a situation of control in the sense of, okay, she's Billy's wife, but she's also Victor Newman's daughter. That plays a big part on her relationships because she has to be sort of the alpha when it comes down to it because she is the belle of the boardroom. She's the one to, even though we all know the story about Victor and Victoria, about, all that, but technically she is Victor Jr. And she wants to have the whole plate. She wants to be a beast in the business, okay? She wants to be a great mother. She wants to be a great daughter, sister, aunt, cousin, all that. But she really wants she wants it all. She wants a healthy relationship. She wants somebody who looks at her as an equal and not as just, okay, you're 5% lower than me. Or, you know what, this is all about you because you're a Newman, da-da-da-da-da-da-da,
right.
And it becomes a competition. Or even threatened by her. So I'm interested, but at the same time, I feel bad because I look at Elena, and I'm like, girl, this will be your second, because Nate, to me, is doing this wrong. Like, he's constantly putting stuff off with Elena to do stuff with Victoria, and at the same time, Elena is just there, contemplating, and I'm like, girl, let's go, And I'm curious now. That's the part I'm kind of like, okay, Younger Ross was like, Brittany, she's been on the show for a while. We need something.
Yeah, she has.
We need something.
We need some fire
from her. If this is
her
her moment, if this is the moment that when she finds out certain things, I need some fire. But then at the same time, you got the wild card. I forgot the girl's name again. I'm sorry to the actress, by the way. I love you, though. But
Audra Charles?
But, yes, you got Audra Charles, who she's snooping around, too, and Nate, and she's sniffing around Nate. And I'm like, girl, okay, what are you doing? And are you going to be the reason that Nate slips?
Yeah, is she?
See, that whole thing I'm really enjoying, and then how it crossed over to the fact that Adam is no longer at Jabot because Victor, Kyle, got, all that stuff. And then you got Victor, who's like, I can give you the moon, the stars, and the sunshines. And Adam is like, I've heard this before. If you're going to give me the moon, stars, and I'm saying, you kicked Victoria out, I'll come back. But then you got Billy and Jack is like telling Billy, if you want this co-CEO position, you can have it. And Billy's like, what the mess? That's what I'm talking about. It's like the whole, and then you got Ashley being the boss, buying Tucker's company. It all ties in together because I feel as though there's about to be a collateral damage, and I'm here for it.
It is. It's all coming down. It's all coming together with everything. I wonder who's going to fall first.
Ooh. Knowing I feel as though, well, the first situation is Victoria and Victor found out that somebody bought Tucker's company. So the fact that, I'm assuming is that Victor was going to give Adam that company, even though that's why Victor created Newman Media was for Adam.
Right.
But I think Adam is like, okay, you can keep that. I want the real gem. I want the real, kid and caboodle. I want the company. And the only way I'll do it is, all right, I'll take the job, but Victoria got to go. And I think there's some justification because when Victoria was feeling herself, you know, Victor was like, okay, Adam, you can take over. But Adam, you just don't give Adam that power and then try to rip it away from him. He wants to claim his seat at Newman Enterprises. You know, so you got that. You got Ashley who's like, it's my company, but maybe you should sell it. Like, what, let's think about it. Should you sell it? And if you do sell it too, who do you want to buy it? And, you know, the obvious answer would be Devon, but Devon is trying to get Chancellor Winters. He wants to keep his own family legacy intact.
Right.
And, yeah, so it's going to be if the writers of Young and the Russells do it right, this could be collateral damage not only for the Newmans, but the Chancellor Winters. This could also be for Tucker and for like everybody involved. It's a domino effect.
It is. It's a domino effect going on. Now, the one thing I liked, I think, that happened today was Ashley offering Tucker to sell his company to Devon if he wants to make things right. She's smart.
She's smart, but this is where Ashley needs to remember her own history. And not her own history, but her family history. Because, like Tucker wants to try to make things right with Devon. That's a given. But at the same time, you know, it's not going to work. So who's the other person you can sell? Like, I think that's where it's going to get interesting because I'm thinking of somebody right now that he could sell the company to, which would make it really interesting. But I want to see how this plays out.
I do too. I'm kind of wondering where Tucker's going to fall, and if this is just a trap.
Oh yeah.
That Ashley is setting.
I mean, I feel as though Ashley is up to something, but at the same time, I think Ashley understands what it means to be on the outs with your family and how you can try to make it right. Because if the situation is that Chancellor Winters, if Lily and Jill wins, that means that Devon has nothing. I mean, he has money.
That's true.
But he won't have a company.
Over.
Right. So the next logic would be Tucker's company, which is his biological, you know, birthright in a sense. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It is. It's going to be one of those things. Let's see. Okay, so that is basically the gist of what Y&R has been. The business angle seems to be a good focus.
Right.
And the good focus. Now, on the other end, let's see. Well, we got something to look forward to. What will Adam do? Will Victor tell Adam the truth about why he wants him back? And will he take it?
I mean, even if he tells him the truth, Adam is still going to feel a certain type of way about it. Because like Adam said, you only need me when something is about to go down. And it's true. anytime Victor needs something that Victoria or Nick can't do, he enlists Adam. And then once it's done, he cuts Adam like, okay, bye.
Yep. It's just, and it seems like it's a cycle.
It is.
I think he just wants control, and Adam doesn't want to be controlled.
Right.
So far
Adam,
we're looking good.
Adam just wants the same thing. He wants to be treated the same way as Victoria and Nick. Notice I left Abby out because Abby has, look, say what you want about Abby, and I know a lot of people do. She's not in any of the Abbott and Newman drama as far as the company because she cut her own stuff out and made herself.
She cut her own.
Yeah, she's doing stuff with her life. And I hope Jack gave her the money back. We ain't forget Young and Restless. I ain't forget. Jack still owes Abby money. Y'all thought I forgot. I ain't forget. Nope.
And Diane.
Lord
I think it's coming.
Okay.
Jeremy's got plans.
And I'm hoping, Young and Restless, look, I've been defending this for a while now. Jeremy can't be like Ashley and Locke. Now, I know that the writers, you guys went a different way because of what was going on with behind the scenes, and that's why y'all did what y'all did with Ashley and Locke. I get that. I understand that. But with Jeremy Stark, you got more of an investment because it's like this could be a domino effect as well, or this could be a shock that somebody's been playing all this time as victim and has been really in cahoots with Jeremy. Now, I will say that this is probably one of those storylines because, again, you have Nikki, Ashley, and Phyllis all like, well, Diane did this, and Diane did this, and Kyle is suspicious, and Summer's upset about this, and Jack is like, well, she did nothing wrong. She's the angel to my prayers. Oh. And Diane is just smiling and grinning while Ashley is like, okay, she got to go. I understand the frustration. Is like, okay, we haven't seen Diane do anything. But at the same time, to me, like I always said, you can't change. Like, I still remember the stuff Diane did when she just came back. Like, she used Allie and to kind of, I don't want to say rope Jack in, but she kind of did. The fact that she is kind of playing, like trying to paint this perfect picture of, okay, I won't do anything, but you rope Jack into stealing. So it's like I'm kind of conflicted because I'm like, okay, I hope it comes, but I'm also wondering, is she doing this because, like, the fact that she's acting like this, is it an act? Is he really in cahoots with Jeremy?
I'm wondering that too. I'm hoping not, because there's a part of me that likes Diane and Jack together, but you never know. I'm hoping that she's
too thick. She's laying in too thick.
Yeah. I mean, too thick, and she's being obvious.
I mean, like, Kyle is suspicious. Everybody is suspicious on the fact that, again, with Jack, because Jack seems to forget things real quick. Starting to worry about his health. Because it's like, all right, do you understand why people are acting like saying, like Ashley? Ashley is your sister. She's like, okay, you can believe everything that comes out of her mouth, but do you not remember what she did? Or Phyllis. Okay, hindsight though, Jack, this is a woman, Diane, who faked her death. She was somebody else, roped your granddaughter, and all that jazz. Like, come on now, like, Like, you have to understand why people are telling you to be cautious. I get that it's been a hot minute since you've been happy and in love, but don't you think you're kind of doing certain things and not taking into consideration, like, your son? Like, even your son is like saying, Dad,
Exactly.
y'all don't have to get back together.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Shall we hit the B&B route?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Well, I thought they were going to kiss Candace.
I mean, hey, the show is called The Bold and the Beautiful.
The Bold and the Beautiful. I thought they're looking pretty. They look nice together. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not sure how I feel either way. I mean, it's a bold route. There's no man.
Hallelujah.
And there's nothing keeping him, but, keeping them. There's nothing to argue over. They're like on a nice, easy plane.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I think I'll just go along for the ride, see where it goes. I'm just not sure. It'd be a bold move for Bold, because I don't think they have ever done a same-sex relationship in the show as far as I can recall.
Oh, they did. But you guys probably forgot, because it was Caroline 2.0's moms.
Oh.
Karen and Danielle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
I forgot them. Yeah,
right.
Caroline.
Okay. So this is what's really interesting to me. For 30 years, right? Since the 90s, you was either Team Taylor and Ridge or Team Brooke and Ridge. And the one thing is that these two smart, well-educated career women was pinned against each other because of Ridge and his ego. They both have families with Ridge. And when Ridge, if it was a Monday and he wasn't feeling Taylor, he would go over to Brooke's house and feel her, and vice versa. So these women for the last 30 years kept going back and forth. Now, the thing is that with Brooke, and I'm going to say this, Brooke has had other options. And yes, those options include love of her life. Some will say that Nick Maroney is Brooke's true love, okay? I'm just saying. But with Taylor, yes, she's had James. Yes, she's had Rick. Yes, she had Hector. She's had flings. She's had relationships. I mean, she was with Eric for hot.
Oh no.
But the thing is that she really hasn't had another great love of her life. With that being said, the fact that they found common ground and they're actually friends, I know you guys thought hell froze over. But if you really think about it, if there were certain people or certain decisions, these two would have been friends. If it wasn't for certain things, they would have been friends. The only thing they could have been disagreeing on, other than Ridge, is the children. That's it. I get that they're laying it on thick. I get that. But can I tell y'all something? I'm enjoying the heck out of it. Because like I said, when Ridge comes back, it's going to probably be a totally different story. Because right now, you do need that female empowerment. See, okay. Take two listeners, listen. Okay. many years on soaps we've seen women tear down each other because of a man? We do not have the frenemies or the friends like a Vanessa and Maureen, on Gone Light. Or trying to think who else here. The ladies on Asphalt Terms. You pick whoever friends you want, right? Okay. Same thing for Days of Our Lives. Like, all the shows had great relationships, friendships, right? Okay. But with Brooke and Taylor, I think it's just in the line of Sally and Stephanie and Brooke, Taylor and Stephanie too. Because remember, Stephanie didn't like Taylor for a hot minute. But you do have these people who you never thought would actually be like, okay, once you remove something, they actually work well together. And kudos to Catherine Kelly Lane and Kristen Allen, because I think half of their dynamics that they do in real life carries over to the show. Again, when Ridge comes back, because like Brooke said, I'm not ready to move on. Brooke has matured, okay? Let me explain that. She has matured. And Taylor is mature, but she's also processing, again, things change all the time. And sometimes, and this is once you're used to a routine, it's kind of hard to let it go unless you have somebody who's also been a part of that experience. So right now I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying, them being friends. They're still, talking about the children. It's like, like Brooke is like, well, Thomas, and Taylor's like, I'll deal with him. Don't worry. That part is still the same. Them, still, trying to figure out what to do about Thomas and how Thomas should be dealt with, or Stephanie, or, or Hope. But I'm enjoying it. That's what I'll say. I'm enjoying it.
I am too.
Mm-hmm.
I am too. And there's that seems to be the main focus right now. All other than the other subject of Bill and Sheila. Hey, now there's
again, the show is called The Bold.
Yep, they're being bold. And like I said in the last podcast, I thought I saw her hold something, like a little bottle, next to him when they were on the couch together, and it looked like they zoomed right in on that. And I'm wondering if she put something on his cross, on his crucifix, or he put something in her drink, or I don't know, because she was smiling with that. So, and I haven't seen that again.
Right. I think she's blackmailing him with something. I don't know what it is, but it must be good for Bill to act this way.
Oh my God. What could it?
I don't know what it. I don't know what it could be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I feel as though it's either blackmail or blackmail. That's all I got. And I'm trying to think, what could it be? Because it goes back to what I think, like, again, the night that Bill was shot, okay, Taylor admitted that she did it. It was her. Okay, the show made sure to tell us that. But I feel as though something else from that night happened or something. Because I know some people on social media said, okay, does Sheila know if Kelly is really Bill's child? Because, that's been the big conspiracy theory that Steffi's first child is really Bill's, and there's some backstory with that, and there's some evidence to go along with it. So it's sort of like, that whole situation. It could be something that he did to somebody. I don't know. I'm actually I'm okay. Okay. I'm okay with the fact of this story because, first and foremost, I get to see more Don Diamont, and I know this is something that he really wanted.
Right.
He wanted more time on the show. I love the fact that we're seeing Wyatt and Liam very concerned about their father. That we're seeing Heather Tom, like Katie, when she's not busy with Carter. She told Bill, in a way, Katie actually put herself up to try to figure out what the hell is going on with Bill. And that, like, she even says, whatever it is, if you don't tell me, you will never see your son again. And knowing Bill, that hurts. But at the same time, you got Sheila, who is just like, okay, y'all can say what y'all want. I'm still here.
Right.
And then you got Steffi and Finn. They're trying to figure out, okay, look, we got to take her down.
Yeah, one way or another, something's got to. Now with Sheila, I am surprised, unless they're going to surprise us, because Y&R's 50th is coming up, and isn't she supposed to make an appearance for sometime in that week over in Genoa City?
I heard that might be happening, but I think they might have scrapped that.
You think so?
Because the thing is, Bold and Beautiful, like, it's probably going to intertwine because they also have their anniversary coming up, like, the week, prior. But they also are going towards their 9,000th episode, which is probably going to be a doozy as well. And judging by what's been said, there's things that's going to be happening that's going to make fans just be like, what the heck did we just see?
All good.
Right. Because keep in mind, in 2 weeks, Bold and Young and the Rustlers goes off for two days because of March Madness.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And we all remember Bold fans.
We won't see it on. We won't even see it on.
On Paramount. Nope, not on Paramount. Right. So the thing is, Bold fans, y'all remember the last time we had a March Madness cliffhanger? Yeah, I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong.
What was it that one time?
Maya. Yep.
There was
everybody was calling everybody and going on social media. They was like, wait, Maya, what? Myron is Myron? What? Join us on Monday due to NCAA double tournament. Bold and Beautiful won't be seen. Like what the mess? Like.
And then we saw it on. On the streamer.
Yep.
And then Casey pulled it. What was that? I remember.
It was crazy because I was like, what was that? I think I was off work, and my aunt called me. My step-grandmother called me when she was with us still. Like, they was like, Candace, I was like, I have no words. I said, I have nothing. I said, I need to rewatch it. Hold on. Give me a minute. I was like, okay, and I'm back. So, yeah. So something's happening. Something's cooking.
Yeah, something is happening. Oh, So what else you see?
I mean, obviously the Douglas storyline. Here's my 2 cents. I know people was like, okay, well, a child should be, okay, again, this is a soap opera. They have to make some drama. So Douglas decided that in order to save hard feelings, and because he loves both of them, instead of living with Hope or Thomas, he's going to live with Aunt Steffi. Steffi was kind of like blindsided, which I can understand. It's like, okay, I'm here to support my nephew.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean that I was taking the child home. Like, wait a minute. Hold up.
God.
Wait, who said I was going to take this kid home?
What is she supposed to do? What is Steffi supposed to do? She can't turn him away. Right,
and Douglas even said that. And I was like, oh, baby. But at the same time, I was like, okay, bold writers. Now, this was very interesting because if...
Oh, there's Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got 2 more callers. Look at that.
Oh.
Nathan?
Yeah, hello, David, yes.
Yes, thank you for joining us. We were worried about you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to take care of some things.
Let me see who this is. Hold on. Hello? Oh, wait, where is it? Hold on. Take Two Radio.
I'm still here.
David and Candace.
Hey, it's Christy.
Oh, Christy.
Long time no talk.
I know, right?
I know. I've been so busy. I'm still watching GH,
nice.
so I'm watching GH like every day. That's my main soap right now.
Right.
Okay, so we're just starting GH now.
Yeah.
Or do you want to finish? Do you want to finish wrapping up Bold real quick?
Yeah, let's finish Bold a little bit. Yep.
Okay, so I mean, the thing is that if Steffi said no, technically speaking, it would have went to obviously, I guess, the grandparents and whatnot, but also Liam. Liam is a biological cousin.
Right.
So I was wondering if they were going to pull that because technically speaking, he is living with a blood relative. So my whole thing was I saw people saying, well, Thomas, this is such a penalty. And I'm like, Thomas keeps shooting himself in the foot. If he wouldn't do certain things, he would have faced these consequences. But because of it, he has to face the consequences. So I'm still looking forward to, because this also brings up, Thomas is with Steffi, you're supposed to have my back. I'm your brother. I was there for you through that whole stupid get our parents back together crap, and you didn't face no consequences, which is true story.
That's true.
But, Thomas, you keep dragging everything on. Yeah, you keep dragging everything on to the point where it's like, all right, Steffi at least knew when to stop. You kept it going by calling CPS on yourself. So that's what I got to say. So I'm just interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah, it is. Okay, guys, you made it in time for General Hospital.
Which is probably, I'm going to be honest, probably the best soap right now. Just saying. And listen who it came from.
It seems to be.
That came from me to say that.
That came from...
So let me ask, Nathan, what are you enjoying about General Hospital?
Well, honestly, this February sweeps I thought started off very, very dry and very boring, and it didn't pick up until the whole thing with Ryan, Ava, Felicia, Esme, Mac. That part of the show picked up for me, and I was hooked in that week, which I think was last week. So, I enjoyed that part. But as far as everything else goes, I just felt that, General Hospital kind of dropped the ball on February Street because I wasn't interested in any of the other stories, even the ones that they picked up the following day. But I am glad that they are starting to at least move forward with those stories and try to wrap them up, because I am losing interest with, those stories, but I still like some of the things on the show. But I will agree. I do think the General Hospital has it going on right now. No offense to the other soap operas. This is a close second for me, but General Hospital, surprisingly, it has my interest this year so far.
Mhm. Christy?
Yeah, I agree with some of that. Okay, so General Hospital for me, I would say the majority of the time the episodes are good and I enjoy them, but sometimes there's some filler episodes where I'm like, this is a waste of my time. Like, this is just the same old thing, and they're just repeating the same stuff they did. And it gets a little, tiring sometimes. But most of the time, it's pretty interesting. I will agree with Nathan that kind of dropped the ball with February Sweeps. Like, there wasn't really anything super exciting happening.
Right.
I think the Curtis and Portia wedding could have been way more dramatic, way more exciting than it was. I was waiting for someone to crash the wedding with the paternity news, and that didn't really happen. And they had like a whole episode of like Trina going to see
Stella.
Yeah, Stella. And I'm like I feel like it could have the pacing. The pacing is probably it's the pacing and the fact that we have like such a bloated cast with GH. Those are my two biggest issues with GH is the pacing and the cast is too big, and you don't have a good balance of seeing everybody. And then the pacing of the storylines, they need to like start getting this stuff like paced a little bit faster because it's just like the same stuff, and some of it moves too slow. And I was a little disappointed with February Sweeps. I expect a show that's been on 60 years that boasts about love in the afternoon to like actually show us romance for the sake of showing romance, not just to advance the plot either. They need to get a little bit better about doing that. But like overall, like even if I don't quite enjoy GH, I love watching it just to like make fun of it with my friends on Discord. Like I just think it's fun. It's fun to like watch everyone's commentary on it. It's a good show to like be like, make fun of what's working and what's not working on the show. But like overall, it is like my favorite soap to watch, and I do enjoy it. But February could have been better, and there's definitely some things that are not like working for me anymore. Like Chase in Brooklyn, totally obsessed with them a year ago. Now I'm like, come on, like this is not working the same way it was a year ago. Like I feel like they ruined them for me. They kind of ruined the momentum with them. Like. It's still honestly the essence of the chemistry. But, like they could have wrote a way better storyline in the last like 6 to 7 months now, and I'm just upset with a lot of that personally. So my couple right now is Sabrina, and I'm like, do not ruin my Sabrina. If you ruin my Sabrina, I'll be very mad at you. And yeah, but I mean, I'm really rooting for Sabrina right now, and hoping to get some more good romance back in the show. I really enjoyed Vanna. I think they're doing Vanna very well with being on the run and having their romance moments.
Doing good.
Yeah, I agree there too.
Don't like Vanna. The fact that they're writing Vanna very well is very appealing to me. So that's what I'll say about Cage right now.
Well, what I say, I hear you, and Nathan and Candace, Christy and I were at Wally and Amanda's Zoom last month on January the 8th. And we can honestly say that Christy spoke for the Chaylin fans. Am I right, girl? And And Amanda heard us, and she's with us. My saying with that is I think we know the chemistry is there. I saw it last year. they're just not adding to it. And I'm wondering if there's some other things, maybe Josh's availability, that could be, they're trying to fit everybody in. I'm hoping that, I have hope for them that'll pick up, because maybe, well, they did say that there's a lot of story to tell with them, so I'm hoping they're true to their word, because they can be fire and ice if they're written properly. And yes, like everyone else, they have to take their time. They have to take their time with them too, as like with all the other ones.
They do. They really dropped the ball on Shaylin for me, honestly. Like, they kind of put them on the back burner after the Bailey storyline. And they kind of, like, even when they try to shift them into being together as a couple, they were still on the back burner. We still see them maybe once or twice a week, like every 2 weeks. And it was just not consistent enough. So if you want me to invest in them as a couple, like, how am I supposed to stay invested when it's just so, like, it doesn't feel like they're as invested as they were during the Bailey storyline for me with Shaylin.
I know, there was a lot of heat there.
There was so much heat. Like, honestly, they probably should have done it in the beach house. They probably should have got together in the beach house, but they just didn't do it then. They didn't pull the trigger then. They dragged it out all summer, and then they finally got together for like 2 months, and we didn't even get a holiday together with them being happy. And I'm like, really? Like, I waited all this time for this? I'm very disappointed with how they treated them and how they've written them. And I think everyone was very excited for Shaylin a year ago, and a lot of fans have dropped off in the last year because they kind of killed it. They killed the momentum. Link came in with this, like, honestly, he cock-blocked them. That's what I call it. The second he came in, he cock-blocked them, and that was it. And then they went into this revenge storyline. And now it's gotten to the point where Brooklyn has signed an NDA where she can't even, like, testify or anything against what Link has done to her. And now he's still doing it. He's doing it with Blaze, and God knows how many other women he's done bad things with. So I'm, like, very, like this is not how a sexual harassment story is supposed to even go. So it's very disappointing.
I think the problem is this is one of those situations where you throw storylines.
Hold on.
You throw storylines around to try to see what works and doesn't work, but when you do it, you're actually doing it on screen. Because I agree, to have Chase and Brooklyn, especially after the whole Maxie's baby storyline, and then she gets sliced, her neck gets sliced and everything. You kind of had a situation where, okay, you have something here. How do we create it where it becomes a thing? And I'm just going to pull the trigger on this. We know there was a recast, and that changes a lot too. However, your main focus should be is trying to get these two together. I agree. They really did drop the ball because there was the pacing, and that's General Hospital's problem. There's some things that worked well with the pacing, but then there's things like this where it's like, okay, you give us a little bit of skin, you show a little bit of skin, we want to see the whole ankle. You don't even you don't show us the whole toe. Then you have to wait until the will they, won't they, and we understand, but some soap fans are not patient anymore. The whole, and I always call it the tribute to Wally Kurth storyline of having Chase be, the Eddie Mayne Jr. Okay, here's the thing. It worked, but it went on too long, and it's still going on too long because I think everybody will say, why didn't Cameron become the singer? Why is Chase still not a cop? And then go to that storyline we just had an alleged serial killer storyline, allegedly.
Alleged.
Chase should have been on the police force. That right there of Brooklyn not giving that letter, that should have been the platform to give you the drama and everything. But I think, Christy, you just said it. They have so many people to write for to give them, to move their storyline up to a reasonable speed that sadly things get dropped. Because even though we love Valentina and Anna, look how long it took for them to get together, right?
That's about 2 years.
Right. Well, longer than that, because I'm counting COVID. You got to remember, this stuff started happening, right? Like the
it's
Nell.
a year and a half with Trina, so,
right.
you know,
but then
they
you
can
have,
wait a
like,
long time.
Right. Then you have the Nina-Willow connection, which we all called, like, before COVID, when Michelle Stafford was in the role.
Right. Yeah.
The thing is that with General Hospital, I will say this. Out of all the 4 soaps, you know, Days went a certain direction, but we know what's about to happen with Days. Young and the Restless, they have to get themselves steady. With Bold, is the Bold and the Beautiful. They're being bold. But with General Hospital, I can honestly say this. It's been a hot minute since I've been watching this consistently. Okay? And, yes, there were some things that they didn't do, but they still kind of they understood the assignment because, again, you had to have a certain storyline wrap up, well, 2 of them actually, because it's been going on for so long and there should have been some payoff. With the Trina stuff, the Portia thing, you know, General Hospital since COVID has been building some things up where it's supposed to be a dynamite payoff. But sadly, they gone wonk, wonk, right? Okay. With Portia keeping the secret, you know, it was the question of, okay, who's going to find out the truth? Because other than Jordan, was somebody else, was there going to be a third person to find out or, you know, and if that third person would be Trina?
Right.
And then you have the wedding. So now you got, like, will Jordan's guilt get the best of her when they say, do you? Not Jordan. Portia, take thee, Curtis, and all of a sudden it's like she starts to sweat and stuff. She's like, I can't do it. Was it going to go that route? Was it going to go that somebody told Curtis? Somebody told Taggart? Somebody told, you know what I'm saying? So I think for me, I was invested with that. Now, what I will say is I was disappointed a little bit because I feel as though there's just something missing, GH. I don't know what it is, but it's sort of like, okay, with Portia, I felt a little bit more of acknowledgement of what she did and how she affected versus Carly and her situation about Willow and Nina, okay? But I will say this. Brooke Kerr, Darnell Turner, Riel Andrews, Tabiana Ali, babies, listen to Aunt Candace. Christy knows what I'm about to say. David knows what I'm about to say. Nathan knows. Get y'all Emmy reels together because this was literally good Emmy reel bait. I love the fact that Stella, and look, we all knew Stella was stitched. But at the same time, she's like, I can't do that. I can't, and we all know a Stella in our lives who is going to try to still pump you to the point where it's like, okay, baby, I'm going to tell you the secret, but you can't tell them that I told you because I'm not involved in that. Not that. The fact that Trina was like, okay, my mom got something to say, I'm like, ooh. And not only that, Stella told Spencer to look after her, because we all knew this was going to change Trina. I love the execution of it. The fact that, again, because, and I think Nathan and Christy, you said it, for almost a whole month now, they've been laying it on thick about Trina and Portia's relationship, Curtis and Portia, and Taggart and Trina.
Right. And
you knew that once this blows up, everybody's lives was going to change because of something that Portia could have easily took care of. take a sample of the DNA, test it on a low key, don't say nothing. Like, okay, whew, I thought it wasn't Taggart's, but it is Taggart's child. Whew. Okay, Curtis, we need to talk. Trina's your kid. I ran a test because, to make sure she doesn't have the same gene as her grandfather. But I was like all for it. Brooke Kerr looks fabulous, and she's 50.
Yes, can you believe it?
No.
I can't believe it.
No.
And here, I get my eyes bug out when I hear Curtis talking that he wants to have children with her, and I'm looking at her and says, well, wait a minute. How old is Portia supposed to be?
I guess she's supposed to be in her 40s.
She has a 20-year-old.
She's the same age as Elizabeth. She's the same age as Elizabeth.
40?
They're in their early 40s.
She's playing 40?
Yeah. There you go, America. I helped you out with that. But no, like I really enjoyed the fact GH went all out for this. I love the domino effect. But see, even though it didn't go with Portia and the payoff, it went elsewhere with Spencer and Trina. Thank you, America. So, see, for me, I'm fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though this was another, it wasn't as bad as the other stories that supposed to have some payoffs. At least this kind of side, was like, okay, with the Portia part, okay. But the other part, the other thing that everybody was really waiting for, that was the payoff. I was like, yay.
Yeah. Look at that.
That gave me old school 90s vibes.
I thought, what did you think, though? Did you think it was, they did that purposely because it's Black History Month and they enriched the cast like that and have them front and center? I thought that was a good tribute.
I want to be honest. It. I really hope that wasn't the case. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this is one of those things where, okay, yes, February is Black History Month, right? Okay. But I would like to think that the soaps are not doing that just because of that particular moment. To me, my thing is that it's also the month of Valentine's Day. Love in the afternoon. We need a romantic wedding. I think what they did was something that has been very outspoken is that you need to use every color of the rainbow and sexuality on your soaps. And this was the must-see event of General Hospital, a wedding, right? Okay.
A wedding.
So I look at it like that. I know to everybody else, I did see a lot of people saying that, but I would like to think, that
it wasn't just that.
It wasn't just for, because in a special wedding for Black History Month, Portia's whole world gets turned upside down. General Hospital, weekdays on ABC, catch us on Hulu. I really, truly don't. Like, the fact that because if that's going to be the case, then I'm looking at, I can't even look at any of the shows right now. Damn. Okay. But I really, truly, I hope it was just dramatic purpose, and that was February sweeps, and this was one of the last of the 7 big storylines that General Hospital has been working up to be the payoff. And not for nothing, but with Spencer and Trina. Because I think, again, we got to remember, all of this is still February 14th, so it's probably now February 16th in Portugal.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, another payoff is when will Spencer and Trina kiss? And nothing says special than Valentine's Day. Aww. Just like a Disney movie.
I honestly thought that Trina Kiss was going to be a little bit more passionate after waiting a year and a half. I was actually cool with it. For my liking. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take whatever.
All right, I'm back for good.
Yeah, it reminds me, I'm going to be honest, when I saw it, right, okay, first and foremost, I was like, I too was like, okay, when are they going to do it? And the fact that they picked the gallery which they've actually, you know, that was their first, like, real moment of, like, connecting was at the gallery, right? And the vibe that I got, it was, and I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't know who I'm supposed to say thank you to, but the vibe I got was old school Liz and Lucky. Because remember when they was at the boxcar? Yeah, the boxcar, and they were painting, and he played Elizabeth. By the way, General Hospital, I need for y'all to re-release that. Jonathan Jackson, if y'all can re-release that, I need that. I'm just saying, for a reason, okay? But it because it was like, you've been waiting so long for this moment, and because of the reason for, you know, like when Trina and Spencer are talking, and Trina was like, I don't know who I am anymore, because literally you just found out that the person you've been calling daddy for almost 20 years isn't your daddy, and that your mother, who you're like, oh, I idolize her, is like, she's just wrong, like, for keeping a secret from you, like, she lied to you. Your own mother lied to you. And it's like, I don't know who I am, and, you know, to have that reassurance, and then, you know, the only thing that could make you feel good at that moment and the thing to make you take a leap is Spencer. I was look, I'm going to be honest. When I saw her stand on her tippy toes, right, first and foremost, Christy, you know the first thing I said, right? I said, I want those shoes.
You want Trina's shoes?
I wanted those shoes. I was like,
I like the dress and the shoes myself.
I like the dress and everything. I said,
me too. I love the dress.
Right. Like, to me, it gave me, you know, that kiss was so, like, cute and innocent, and that's what they are right now. Like, well, Spencer's not. But, you know, Trina is sort of innocent.
Trina wanted to bang after that kiss, okay? Like, oh my God.
But at the same time, but you got to remember where she was coming from, because, again, when you're feeling all kinds of different emotions, because this is how I took it. After the kiss, right, if you stop the kiss, that means you have to go back to the reality that you just came from. Like, right now, you're finally doing something that you could only dream about, right? And we all know Trina was fantasizing about Spencer kissing her. So the fact that she was living in that fantasy for just a few moments, and she didn't want that to end, and she was like, why did you stop? And then it's like, reality check, you know, Spencer doesn't want to do something because you're feeling a certain type of way. You feel as though you have to push that out and everything. Like, he really values you as a woman to not, you know, get down and dirty at the art gallery. First of all, I went my first time, and we do know that too, that Trina's a virgin. So you want you want it to be a special moment. So I have to applaud them for doing that, because you can tell, even though she was anticipating, you know, to go more, but at the same time when he said, I can't do it, it's sort of like, again, take a look at her eyes. She got hurt again, but at least he had justified it. He justified it. And so I was like, okay, and not for nothing, hey, General Hospital, I'm just curious, because, again, a lot of us, well, I know I did, I was wondering, GH, why didn't y'all play the Princess Diaries soundtrack when that kiss happened? You know, miracles happen. I understand you got to get money. But not for nothing, I was also saying, General Hospital, this is where you could have said this too. You know, if you got Disney Plus, check out Princess Diaries, right? And also Princess and the Frog, because that was giving me Princess and the Frog too. I was like,
right, yeah.
I was seriously all up in my feels. I'm like eating pepperoni pizza. I had the day off. I was like, this told me I was supposed to watch, right? And this was, again, this was an anticipating moment, because it's just like with Chase in Brooklyn. It's been building up for a while now. You just didn't know when, how, or why it was going to happen, right? But when it did, it was sort of like oh, my God, thank you, yes. Now we can officially say they're not a potential couple. They're actually a couple now.
They're a couple. They're now. It's official.
Yeah. And they're official, and not only that, they were trending that day. They started at number 7. They worked up to number 3. I'm like, it's been a very long time. You do got Joss and Dex. Woo, that's a lot, right? You got Michael and Willow. That's a lot. You got Chase and Brooke, like, yeah. Then you got Brooklyn and Chase, and it's sort of like, again, you have four couples, young couples, right? And it's like something is missing with Joss and Dex is supposed to be the ride or die, right? I guess, I don't know, whatever. Michael and Willow, that has a lot of controversy in that situation. And then you do have Chase and Brooklyn. And I think what happened was is somebody lost some kind of focus on the objective of how to get those two together. Because the whole police thing should have been their moment where he does go back to the police force. She explains why she didn't want him to. They, break up, then they come back together. What I'm hoping is when Jane Elliott returns in a couple of weeks, maybe that's going to be the thing to get Chase and Brooklyn back, on track.
I think she likes him.
Yeah. Brooklyn
Granny likes him.
Yeah.
Granny likes him because he's Finn's brother, and Granny's fond of Finn.
If that's the reason, Tracy, then we really need to talk to you. I know I do. To me, my whole thing is, I need GH, Dan and Chris, you better write this line. The same way Brooklyn talked to Tracy about Luke, I need for Tracy to talk to Brooklyn about Chase. Or talk to Chase about Brooklyn.
Yeah, because they had a conversation about Chase before she got with him. That'd be great for a follow-up.
Right, yes.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I could write that scene, but, I'm not a writer.
You could. I'm a good girl.
Yeah, you can, Candace.
They need to hire you.
Well, there's a couple of shows that, look, I'm in the words of somebody, I'm very expensive. There you go.
There you are.
I'm not gonna say who said that. You just figure that out, America. But no, I just think right now there's some parts of GH that is working with the good pacing, and then there's some that okay. Let me ask a question about Spencer and Trina. How do you guys like them? Like, do you see? Do you understand the spring of fever? Is that even a spring of nation? Is that escape from
it is now. If it isn't,
I do.
That's definitely a moneymaker for GH, to be honest. There was 300 plus fans at the Sabrina Zoom that I was attended. So.
At that Zoom?
Yeah, there was including the general admission people, so the general, session, it was 300 plus fans.
It's been,
that seems
and
to
I'm
be
going to
their
say
ticket.
this. I'm going to say this
it's no
because
surprise.
I said it. I think it's because. Okay. It's been a hot minute since General Hospital had a young couple to be invested in. Because we all on this phone can remember the last time GH was truly invested in a young couple. And I'm going to go there. I'm going to say, obviously you had the quad. Let's kick it off. Lauren Scotty. They were young. There were a couple that people invested, and then there's this guy named Luke Spencer who changed the game on that. Okay. Then you had what I like to call the Port Charles 90210 crew before there was even a 90210 with Brenda and all of them, right? And out of
Jason, AJ, those guys.
Jason, you had Keisha, AJ, Keisha and Jason, right? But then you had this couple that really blew it up was Robin and Stone, right?
Yep.
You was invested with them. Then you go into Lucky and Elizabeth and Emily and Juan and Xander. I said what I said, and I'm sticking to it. So, thank you. Okay, we got Nicholas. Nicholas was there. This was my Emily and Xander moment. But then even with that, you had Georgie and Dylan, right? And you had, so it's been a hot minute.
Diego and Georgie.
Oh yeah, you had Dante, Lulu, you had, Maxie and Spinelli. So it's been a hot minute. I know, right? I got mad. Ooh, girl. Girl, do you know?
I'm so excited.
I was when we get to the Hook Killer storyline, I'm going to tell you what I did, and I shouldn't have done it. And most of you guys know what I did because a lot of you guys said, Candace, why you do it? There's a reason. I'll tell you in a minute. But the thing is like, with GH, it's been a hot minute since we've been invested in a young couple. So, and not us fans, but the show itself. So the fact that they, had them on the cover of the 60th magazine cover, the fact that they was at the TCAs, the fact that they've really been promoting these two, and not for nothing, but the history. Now, see, this is where we have to bring up the history. The fact that Taggart's daughter, I said what I said, okay, is involved with a Cassadine. That's history. That's history.
Because
this
of
is the
Gia.
second person, right, because of Gia. Also, the fact that Trina is friends with Carly's daughter, right, Elizabeth Xander's son, and also Cassadine. Like, that's history, because Taggart couldn't stand none of them. Except for Elizabeth. Like, that's the irony, is like you have this, and not for nothing, we was all there when Spencer was born as John, when Courtney flatlined, when the whole custody thing happened, you like my beat, the whole, the ups and downs, and to know that how Spencer has grown up and how he hasn't really, like, he wants his father's love, but he's not, like, it's just, you've been so invested in this young man that he's now in love. Like, we're seeing Spencer in love, you guys. Like, Nicholas's son is in love. And we're seeing it with Taggart's daughter. I said what I said, GH.
I still want her to be Taggart's daughter, and I like today how she was
I
like,
still do too.
And I'm like, yes,
yeah,
you
same
will.
here.
And I love that Taggart said, no matter what DNA, you're still my daughter.
I love that she said that line. That they wrote that in there, because I could have a
I love that talk too.
Because I actually stood up and cheered. I was like, thank you, because sometimes when you're not the biological, if you've been a part of that person's life for so long, you might as well continue to be the bio. Like, even if it's not blood, you're still... Right.
Like,
I'm just like, I was like, woo. But yeah, Sprina is the thing. If you don't know about it, get familiarized with it.
It's a thing now.
That's why I keep saying it. It's a thing. It's a part of, and I think for soaps in general too, we have, again, I mean, this really, I know y'all going to be like, Candace, you're really selling this, but the truth is that, look, one of the main ingredients of a soap opera is relationships, romance. And we have not really had, again, let me preface this, because I know a lot of people went and said, okay, Ben and Sierra from Days, and that's true, but as far as it goes, I mean, again, we have not had young couples. Do you see what I'm saying? That
right, I agree with you.
Like, we haven't gone on that journey. Like, it's been a pacing. I know people was like, Lord Jesus, help us. But it's like,
they tried with Joss and
them.
Cameron.
Well, see, okay. Joss and Cam could have worked, but there were certain beats that wasn't played. And I think the biggest issue for me was you didn't have Carly and Elizabeth. Like, to me, can you imagine if Carly, like, saying, to Elizabeth, if your boy does anything to my daughter, and Elizabeth is like, Cameron, why do you have to go out with that sleazy?
Yeah, they dropped the ball on that one.
They missed the beat. Yeah, they missed the beat because, that's why I said the history of the show, the fact, and not for nothing, I wish somebody would said, Carly, what about that time that you were sniffing around Cameron's daddy, Xander? Yeah. Or how about, hey, Elizabeth, remember that time you was going to be a surrogate for Jackson Courtney? What? Like, all that history. Oh, man, the shade of that all. Oh, my God. There were so many beats, but, you know.
So many.
It's bananas.
You got to go to
they
Dave.
went downhill after the whole sex tape incident, so they just really didn't get their proper, like, I don't know. I don't even know if they had much of a honeymoon phase as a couple. I feel like they kind of, like, had it for a minute, and then, like, there was no, like, what do you call it? Like,
there was no drama. Like, okay, with Josh and Cam, their biggest thing is, and I'm going to say it, Josh was jealous of Trina and Cameron's relationship. Because remember, Josh was all about Oscar. Okay?
Yeah.
Y'all remember Oscar, right? Oh, poor Oscar, right? Okay. And the thing is that, okay, Trina and Cameron went through hostage situations. They got pointed at gunpoint and all this, post-traumatic stress. Then it was like, okay, once Josh saw the closeness of Trina and Cameron, because let's be real, folks, the writing was there for Trina and Cameron, but again, when you see something that clicks, you change your decision, and that's where it went with Trina and Spencer. But still, the fact that Josh was like, okay, wait a minute, somebody can't have my Cameron. Cameron's been with me since 1982 or something like that. That gave me Carly and Jason vibes. That's why I always say Josh and Cam will always be, to me, well, they could have done it with, Carly and Jason 2.0. Their biggest hurdle was that sex tape with Esme, and some things didn't click. It was like something dropped on that, too. So, I hope you're listening, because I hope you're learning, because I'm about to really get into you about this Hook storyline when we get there. Just saying.
This is true. I think the sex tape just took out what I would want to say, like the fire. That was, if there was any fire with Josh and Cam, it was out after the whole sex tape storyline.
Because to me, you use that as an excuse for Josh to cheat. I'm sorry. Like, okay, you wanted to feel a certain type of way, and Cameron was being very respectful. And I love the fact, I will never get over the fact that they wrote this, because I thought this was really good. The double standard of a guy and a girl and a sex tape. I thought that was very well done. What I didn't like was the fact that Josh, we didn't get it in full dialogue, that Josh still felt unprotected. Violated and unprotected, and that's why she moved on to Dex. To me, that was wrong. That is, Dex is safe. I totally understand that, but you don't know this guy, honey. Like, you're over there, like, having sex with somebody while you're still with somebody else. Like,
she doesn't.
No.
He's got this whole, like, bad boy attractiveness to him that she just can't resist. Right.
And I'm like, and you're doing this to Cameron, and then Cameron didn't. Oh my God.
I felt bad for Cam.
Yeah, I felt bad for him too.
Over a relationship she's had for less than 3 months or something. Like, she barely knows the guy, and she's just hopping into bed with him and be like, oh yeah, now I really got to break up with Cam, because now I really did it with that. I'm like, girl, you should have broken up with him months ago.
I thought Cameron was great with that confrontation. I mean, he doesn't need to have the grace that Chase had.
That was William Benny right there for sure. That breakup.
That was the Elizabeth side of Cameron. Because like I said, I posted that video of when his daddy Vander found out about Emily and Nicholas in the cottage, and I was like, this is what I needed Cameron to do. Like, saying, you want to be with him so bad? Go right ahead and do it. I'm out. You can have her. So this has been going on behind my back all the time.
Too. At Texas. That was so great. Right, yeah. I was like, Dark Cameron rise. Dark Cameron. I'm here for it.
But yeah.
Yep. We have to hit days. We don't have much time.
Oh, man. We don't got time to talk about the Hooker storyline.
Who was as disappointed as I was?
Me, but I'm not surprised.
Me too.
So, y'all, look, okay.
I still think Esme was behind some of it because it doesn't really make that much sense for Heather to be the hook for everybody. Like, to me, I don't know.
This is one of those times where I'm like, okay, Dan and Chris and crew, yes, your show has been really good. People have been it's been must-see TV. But there's times where I think y'all be like, okay, we can get away with this. No, you cannot. See, this is what happens when you actually do watch the whole show, okay? We know darn good well it was a guy. It was a guy. We all can say it was probably Esme in the beginning, but they probably switched off and did to Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
To Ryan. I said on this show, whoever the hook killer was, it was a target for it. They were either going after Sonny, Trina, or Spencer. Because you take a look at everybody that was involved, it was connected to these three. Okay. I never, in the history of watching soaps, have ever seen a hook killer take a vacation. So PTO and holidays.
That's our trademark.
For real.
Some candy.
Like, for real. I've never seen. You started out with I Know What You Did Last Summer. Then you had the going into fall. Then it took some break, almost close to Christmas time. And then you decided to come back around in February. I've never seen a town such as Port Charles not being on alert about a hook killer storyline. I've never seen anything like it. Maybe I'm living in a crazy world. General Hospital, you cannot sell this to me at all. You're going to tell me that all this time, it's been Crazy Heather. Let me just address this. Allie Mills, you did your damn thing. You did your damn thing.
Yes, she did.
You're not selling this to me. Because, again, if Heather was a part of anything, it should have been when she was gaslighting Elizabeth, because that made some sense. For this to be the final, no, and no. Okay. John Lindstrom, I said this last night. I will say it until I'm blue in the face, until I see the Emmy nomination. You did your damn thing. You made David Canary so proud of you. Because for John Lindstrom to play two different types of acting, you got Comes in Kevin, who just found out his brother has a daughter who's a crazy psychopath. That's your niece, boo-boo. But also you got Ryan Chamberlain, who is just a loose cannon. But you could have sworn it's like two different actors. This is called acting. And you don't find this kind of acting anywhere but soaps. Okay?
That's true.
Okay.
Listen very quickly. Hold on. Listen very quickly. Okay, Chris, hold on, quickly. Listen, General Hospital, this hook killer storyline to me felt like a total dud based on what you did. And like I agree with Candace. I mean, I never knew a hook killer could take a vacation, from time to time during this whole thing. I mean, if you can't do a serial killer storyline right, don't do it at all. Is my thing, because you could have done so much more with this storyline, and I just felt that having Heather as a hook killer was a cop-out. I thought it should have been Esme, and I'm still sticking with that. I still think she is responsible, and Heather is lying through her teeth and protecting Esme. And I will give a shout-out to both John Lindstrom, Allie Mills, and other people with the storyline. They did their thing, too. So that's it.
Thank you, Nathan.
Welcome.
Christy?
I'm good. I mean, I'm good with everything else. I touched on, I think, everything that I wanted to say about General Hospital.
We did.
So, yeah.
How about that?
There you go.
Let me see. How much time? We can hit days for a little bit.
Okay. Where you want to start?
Okay. Megan?
I'm the only one clapping. Come on now.
I'm clapping on my on my knee, Candace, but I don't know if anyone
There you
can. It's nice
You
having
guys
her
will
back.
probably have to fill me in for some of it because I'm behind on some of the stories on days.
Okay.
Okay, we'll fill you
I
in.
don't quite know what the whole history with Megan is, so somebody's gonna have to give me the 411.
Okay, Stefano DeMera's daughter, who was pronounced dead, is back alive. She really, for over 40 years, she's been in love with the one and only Bo Brady. She was jealous of Hope, and she wanted Bo Brady all to herself. The end.
Thank you, Candace. I knew you'd come first.
You're welcome. Cliff notes.
Yep.
Okay, so Stefano's long-lost daughter that was supposedly dead. I got it.
Right, that was dead. It came
Right.
back.
Correct.
Yep.
I always love how they bring
remember.
people back to bed on days. They always find a way to make it happen.
She even tried to kill Hope. Well, she kind of did.
She did.
But then they undid it. Yeah, because this was okay. Now I will say this. This part of Days of Our Lives that they're about to do is the second part of Beyond Salem 2 that was on Peacock. So I'm going to say this right now because I know some people are like, I don't get what the heck is happening. I suggest you go on Peacock and watch Beyond Salem 2 to get the beginning and what's happening, what's about to happen now, because the whole afterlife and all that. Because I'm sorry. Let me do my my diligence. Hold on. Bo and Hope fans, you have approximately 16 days until Bo and Hope returns on Days of Our Lives on Peacock. Call your friends.
The
let them
countdown
know.
is on.
Okay.
Countdown is on. Hey, can we officially say Peacock now?
Oh yeah, we can say Peacock.
Yeah, sure we can.
I mean, are they? You know what I mean? I mean, it's no longer for the. These
are
are
you
all,
talking about if it's the Peacock episodes now?
Yes.
Not yet.
Can we actually say that? Not yet.
Not yet. We got about 3, 4, 5 days.
Oh,
But
okay.
you can tell. Okay, let me ask this question. Have you guys noticed some changes on Days of Our Lives?
Well, they take more risks than they probably could on daytime television, like
that part.
Alex and the girls there. So it's like, all right.
Well, here's the thing about that, Christy. That threesome was actually NBC's.
That is true.
Oh.
That was NBC.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I will say
that
this.
was. They did that right before they moved to Peacock.
They did that right before, but now here's the interesting part. You know, if it was on NBC, that would have been on cutting room floor, right? We all understanding that. Like, they would have showed some, but the rest of it probably wouldn't have made it on TV because, it's network sensitive. But since it was on Peacock, and I got to do this to Robert Scott Wilson. Robert, if you're listening, this was your second time, baby. Your second time.
Yep.
All my children. Oh my God! If you didn't get that reference, all my children, just put Robert Scott Wilson, all my children, and it's just the same.
Oh, I've seen the infamous sex scene from All My Children. I think I had a downloaded episode of iTunes for that reason.
I'll never forget that scene. That's crazy. Oh my God.
I will never forget that because
erotic scene I've ever seen.
I still remember that scene,
and we're going there.
I still it's been 12 years, 11 years since then, and that's still like, if anything, if you can't remember anything else about the online version of All My Children, that stands alone. That right there.
Does.
I'm not going to say what it was, but just go on. If you don't know what we're talking about, go on YouTube. Just look.
It could be why.
Oh yes.
It could be why Rob got his part on Days too. So we never know.
I can see why. Yep. Mhm.
He was the first male model on The Price is Right. But no, this is what I've noticed about Days is that there's longer time now. Like we're now at the 40-minute mark with Days. There is some profanity because Patch did say
the F-bomb.
Yep, he dropped the F-bomb.
They did that.
Yeah, Christy, look, check this out. It was 6:27 my time, right? Because I wake up and watch it, right? And I was like, oh, no, I didn't hear. I was like, wait, did I just hear what I thought I heard? Let me go ahead and put closed caption on.
Right.
And sure enough, the F-bomb. I was like, not Stephen Nichols, not my Patch Johnson. Now, he didn't cuss. No, he did not cuss. No, not first thing in the morning. I was
Yes,
like,
he did.
I was like, the shame. And then I was like this. I was like, okay, Days of Our Lives is getting ready to do. But no, I noticed that, and not for nothing, I'll just pull the plug and say it. The budget
is a little higher.
Looks gorgeous. Looks beautiful. Money well spent. Okay,
and they can afford it, too.
Peacock.
There's a lot more money.
Christy, you missed my whole Days of Our Lives. You missed my whole Days of Our Lives Peacock promo.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I did a shimmy, and I was like doing the cha-cha-cha, and yup, I was doing the Charlie and everything. You missed it. I got re-showed that video, and they didn't pay me. I just did it out of love. Okay,
I know you did.
They
should have put that.
No,
on their
I don't. No. Nope. Anyway, back to Days of Our Lives, already in progress here, because we got 8 minutes. So pretty much the afterlife was not the afterlife.
No,
even though
just
they did
a little purgatory.
Yeah, sort of like New Salem, spelled backwards.
Yeah.
But
I've seen
they
them
brought up
to kind of know what's going on. So
yeah, so Kate is not cremated. We don't know who the heck is in the coffins of Kayla and Marlena. Surprise visit by Angel Jake, which I was like, what the heck? I was like, how he get there? But apparently he got up there, and we got an explanation as to Nick, which kudos Dave for doing this. The reason Nick is sort of a devil figure is because of his rape. For those who don't know, because they sometimes skip when they talking about with the guys, Nick was raped and made him homophobic and pretty much changed the direction of Nick. And Jake brought that up and says, what would Julie do if she saw you in this position? Because Julie was always Team Nick.
Yeah, she was.
That's true, yes.
Yeah. The ladies contacted, more so Kate was trying to contact Roman, but instead got Paulina, so we got the Psychic Friends connection.
Psychic Friends.
Yep, 1-800-DAVE. But we find out that they have been in the Demerit Enterprise lab, and Megan is the one who's been pulling the strings. And I think it's because of the prisms.
It is. More or less.
But she also has somebody else in one of the containers too, and that is a Bo Brady. Spoiler alert. So there you go, folks. So that's where we're at with that. Let me see. Stefan's brain is turning to mush.
Yep.
Because they keep trying to rebrain and all this because he loves Chloe, but he also loves Gabby. But Gabby has got a proposal from Shin, saying, be with me for 6 months, and if you're not happy and everything like that, then we can get a divorce and all that stuff. So, Gabby was like, hell yeah, I'll stay in it, but, I don't love you. And Stefan was like, yeah, Gabby will wait for me and all that stuff, but I still love Chloe. And Brady was like, punk, and choked him out. And then they hook him up, and Dr. Ralph is going to use a spice rack or something to fix his brain. I'm over the
Only
storyline.
days.
But that's days for you. That's campy.
But I'm kind of over. Okay, I'm over the brainwashing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't anymore. It was cute.
It seems like it's been overdone.
It's
Yes.
because okay. To be honest, the story reminds me of Chad, Belle, and Abby.
And yeah, that I remember that. That's Billy Flynn.
Yep, that was Billy, Kate, and Martha. It wasn't that long ago. Literally, it wasn't.
Or
I
was
swear
it
to God, if I see a screaming cat, if I see the laser cat, I'm going to be done. Y'all remember the cat? Mhm. Y'all all remember the cat in that picture. Because I know we got short of time. What does everybody think about Lindsay Arnold leaving Days of Our Lives as Allie? What did you guys think about the Allie and Chanel stuff?
I thought it was unfortunate, but not surprising at the same time, because I do feel that Days did drop the ball on the character of Allie, especially when they had her with Chanel, and that was that could have been a couple that could have maybe changed the landscape of Days from what I saw. But when it comes to the writing for them, it was just very disappointing, and I really wasn't a big fan of Allie and Chanel together. I actually like Johnny and Chanel more than them. So when it comes to Allie, it was a character that had a lot of potential, but the show never really capitalized on it, and I do think it's a little bit disappointing that we're now starting to see Allie acting a little bit more like her mother when it comes to the drinking, smoking, stuff like that. I like that, because we get to see a shade, a little side of Sammy in her. But as far as Lindsay Arnold goes, I thought she did the best she could, and I will miss her. But at the same time, I will not miss the character of Allie. So that's how I feel.
Mhm. Chrissy, did you like Allie and Chanel?
I mean, I think I've pretty much liked all of Allie's pairings at this point. I liked Allie and Tripp for a minute. I think Allie and Chanel was interesting, and they could have went places with them, but they didn't go. I'm bummed. So she's leaving. I'm behind, but she's leaving.
Yeah.
Character. So that's
I think.
I feel like they could have went. I feel like they kind of probably dropped the ball in a lot of places for her character development. And
a minute and a half, guys.
Okay. David, close it out.
You gotta say
that. Lindsay, I'm going to miss you. They could have done more with Allie. David, your final words.
I think they weren't following the execution and her time frame properly, so that's why it fell flat for me, I think.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great show. Thank you, callers. Thank you, Nathan and Chrissy, for joining us.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll see you soon.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, guys.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit Take2Radio.com.